engineer right here, side by side with the black line. Side by side with the black line.
Yes, we do Alex and Sam first, if they be less argument.
The Sam.
They do. Sorry? They do, yes.
I got Hassan.
Ali, I'm sorry.
I got all three on the screen.
Okay, but I was talking about in the order.
On the order.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Whatever order you like. Gentlemen, state your name for the record.
Ali Beydoun. Hassan Beydoun. Sam Beydoun.
All right, calling case number 2405911301002 and 03. Houston, Michigan was Ali Beydoun, Hassan Beydoun, and Sam Beydoun. Appearance, please. People first. Unmute yourself, Mr. Vincent.
I really apologize. Steve Vincent for the People, P71917.
Mr. Hall.
Good morning, Your Honor. Cyril Hall on behalf of all three respondents, C29-121.
Will your formal reading stand mute with respect to all three of your clients?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay, according to not guilty plea on behalf of your clients, Mr. Vincent, what is your bond argument?
Judge, we're going to be requesting $50,000 for Mr. Hassan Beydoun. We're going to be asking for $25,000, and this is cash or surety, for the other two defendants, all with monitorization.
Okay, hold
Judge,
on.
Yeah.
Hold on. You said a mouthful. You wanted $50,000 for whom?
For Mr. Hassan Beydoun, who's being charged with all of the counts, the GBHFA, FFFF, aggravated assault.
Hassan is 50, you're requesting, and the other two you're asking for $25K plus monetization?
That's correct, Magistrate.
Okay, all right, thank you. That's clarified. Proceed with your argument.
Thank you. And Judge, I would be remiss if I didn't say this first. I would say that this is vigilante justice, which the people wouldn't condone in the first place. But I can't even say that because we have a reserve Detroit Police Department officer, a reserve officer involved in this matter. And as everyone knows, I'll be the first one to support police officers in any given matter. I'll be the first one to do it. But
that'd be who? Hassan?
Yeah,
okay.
That's defendant one. And I'm going to be the first one to stand up for police officers, but not here, not in this situation. Not with something like this. This is what makes everything look bad. So unfortunately, I have to move forward with this argument in the prosecution, Judge. Here we have.
You're filibustering. Spit it out.
No, I'm laying the foundation. I'm laying the foundation.
This foundation is another man's filibuster. Get to your point, please.
Well,
okay,
Judge,
I got it.
We have these three individuals that apparently are all brothers. They have a sister who apparently is going to get married to a gentleman that they don't like. So they took it upon themselves to track the individual down and beat the crap out of him, sending him to the hospital, letting him know that this is a warning for him, that they can erase him from the earth. And the warning was equivalent to pistol whipping. The warning was equivalent to punching and kicking him, sending him to the hospital. That's what their warning was. And this has to do, unfortunately, with the DPD reserve officer. So respectfully, Judge, we find them to be a danger. The warning, the assault, the fact that the officer should be held to a higher standard, it just makes everything, Judge, look not just bad, but dangerous. You saw the guns that the search warrant ended up producing. The defendant here, the DPD officer, ended up having a gun. Apparently, he doesn't get a department-issued firearm. He has to produce that himself. He only gets a uniform, but he used a gun to pistol whip this individual. And you can see all of the injuries. ID'd as the offenders in this incident, Judge. Respectfully, we're asking for that cash with monitorization.
Mr. Vincent, what is the current condition of the complaining witness? Do you have an update on that?
I don't. You know what? He was in the hospital as of, I don't know if it was per the identification, but the last insert was that he was in the hospital.
Okay, Mr. Hall.
Your Honor, the court, I'm satisfied that the court read the report in this particular matter. The report clearly revealed that this individual is alleged to have had bruises and scrapes, no fractures, no intracranial bleeds, none of that, no subdural hematoma. So if somebody hit somebody in the head with a pistol, you would expect subdural hematomas, you would expect other types serious injuries. That's not the case in this particular matter. And another way the court would be aware of that is in terms of the charges against Alex and Ali Beydoun as well as Sam. You see that they're charged with assault with intent to do great bodily harm, less than murder, and also an alternative aggravated assault. So that tells us something about the claim of the injury. With respect to Hassan, Your Honor, this is an individual, he's been married in excess of 30 years. He has 3 children, 2 of which are adults. One is approximately 17 years of age, no criminal history whatsoever. He also has a hunting license. He has a cabin where he goes to hunt. He's an individual that has owned businesses and worked in this community, and he's never been before the court for any particular charge. The question becomes ultimately whether or not there's a collection of circumstances that would suggest that he would reappear in court, and also whether or not he would be a threat to this particular individual. I submit to the court that we would accept that no contact provision in this particular matter because of the fact that they do not have to have any contact. But we strenuously deny that he was even present and that he was involved in this particular altercation. But our investigation reveals, Your Honor, which I'm not trying to litigate today, is that this individual complaining witness indicated since their family didn't want him, he was going to make an effort to destroy the family. And that's what he set out to do. And he goes into a hospital with very minor injuries. So in terms of reappearing in court as it relates to Hassan Beydoun, the question is, would he reappear? The answer is yes. Police came to his residence, they executed a search warrant. He indicated to the police, weapons are mine, they're all registered to him. So no mystery with respect to that.
Okay. What about defendant number 2? Ali Beydoun.
Yeah,
or you want to go to Sam first?
Well, I can go to Sam. Yes,
okay.
I'll take Sam.
Whatever your pleasure is.
Thank you. With respect to Sam, Sam owns Castle Auto Sales along with his brother who's present here. And he has no criminal history whatsoever. You note that the charges are in the alternative. They indicate that there could have been an aggravated assault. He has no history, Your Honor. It's an individual that will reappear at any time designated by the court. In addition to that, what happened was the police we contacted the police yesterday because we were in the process of doing a writ for Hassan Beydoun. When we found out 10 minutes after we started the writ and had talked to a judge, then the next thing that occurred, we saw on our screen in the office that the warrant issued. So that stopped the writ procedure. But then what we did notice was the other 2 brothers were charged. So at that time I contacted the detective. Called the detective, no call back. The call last night from one of the officers. He indicated my client, Sam Beydoun, that they wanted him to turn himself in. Sam doesn't live far from me. I say, hey, I'll come right over. I went over to the residence about 1 o'clock.
Turn himself in.
Yes.
So he's not a flight risk?
No, not whatsoever, and doesn't need a tether. And we accept that he would not have any contact with the complaining witness or any other witnesses involved in this particular case. As it relates to Alex, Ali, we call him Ali. Okay. I've known family over 50 years.
He's Ali in this courtroom. Okay.
So what happened was, since I was turning in Sam, I spoke to the detectives. I said, hey, well, okay, I might as well call Ali and have him turn himself in. So that's what we did. And the evidence will reflect that he turned himself in. So he voluntarily drove to the DDC, turned himself in for purposes of the arraignment in this particular matter. He's not a flight risk, Judge. They already.
No, I don't believe he's a flight risk either.
Okay.
I am with respect to all three of your clients, Mr. Hall. The court's not persuaded that they are a flight risk. I am more so concerned about the safety to the complaining witness. And based on my information, and Mr. Vincent can correct me if I'm wrong, the complaining witness lives in Dearborn Heights, I believe, or Dearborn Heights, and I'm concerned about his safety, and if you can address the issue holistically with respect to all three of your clients as to whether or not they are a danger to the complaining witness.
Yeah. And the answer to that is in the negative, Your Honor. And I can indicate to the court, one, because I'm here, okay, and they're not going to have any further contact with them. We had a long discussion about that. They have parents in the community. All of that is still alive. So we're not trying to do anything with respect to this particular individual, but litigate this controversy before the court of law. And that's what we want to do. So, Judge, and all this about a tether, they don't need a tether. They need to go on and continue to do the work that they were going to do. As a matter of fact, Ali was going to go out of town this weekend. And he asked me, well, should I come to court? I said, yeah, we better come to court first, because he was going to spend the weekend, I think, in Miami. Already paid for a ticket to go. But I said, no, we're going to come in and we're going to come here. That's what we did. So, Judge, no contact, no reason for them to have a contact. They're not going to throw their lives away about this particular incident, Judge, that's virtually involving whether or not this gentleman is going to marry their sister.
Okay.
They've been here all their life, Judge. So this is not a situation where we're talking about some honor killing or anything of that sort. That doesn't even apply. These are married.
Okay. Mr. Vincent, your response?
Listen, I can appreciate defense counsel. He's doing what he's retained to do. But when I have hostile individuals attacking one person, using guns, beating him up, warning him, telling him they can erase him from the earth. No, this is pretty serious stuff. I mean, with all due respect to defense counsel, minimizing the injuries, minimizing the incident, I think that's a little disingenuous, because we have an individual who apparently is still engaged to these individuals' sister. Nothing there has changed. We have an individual that was already assaulted by these three individuals. And Judge, we have an individual that apparently got put in the hospital because of that. So this is an ongoing situation. They have good defense counsel. That's great. They're going to need it. But with all of that being said, they're not flight risks. They're dangers, because this is an ongoing incident. They're dangers. They're clear and present dangers to this individual. Okay. That's why we're asking for the cash. That's why we're asking for the monitorization.
Okay, counsels, I'm ready to rule. You both provided great arguments for the court. Well argued on both sides. Both sides have brought up great points for the court's consideration. Let's start out with Mr. Hassan Beydoun. And he is the reserve officer, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, and the court is aware that this is not an assault with intent to murder case.
Right, I'm well aware of that. But based on the report and the allegations in the investigative report, it looks like it was his weapon to use, and per the report, it was him, Hassan Beydoun, that was pistol whipping, while the other two brothers were kind of aiding and abetting, for lack of a better word. Now, all the facts will be fleshed out at a later date, but I'm just saying from the investigative report, that's what I ascertained. So the bond with respect to Mr. Hassan Beydoun, I am going to give him a $50,000 personal bond with the following conditions: not to possess any handguns, firearms, or other dangerous weapons. No contact with Michael Ryad, and I'm going to fit in with a GPS tether. 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew. And that's due to the fact that it looks like his degree of culpability or involvement, but like I say culpability, involvement, I should say, no culpability has been determined yet. Is the degree of involvement in this instance, as written in the police report, I find that the tether is needed to track his whereabouts and to make sure he has no contact with the complaining witness. Now, with respect to the other two, I think defendant 2 has a criminal history from a little while ago. He's a habitual second offense known. Is that correct?
That's correct. And we had expunged his record within the last year, all those particular charges, but he has a limited history and it goes back. I do know that.
Okay.
And I presented him on those particular matters.
So you're saying they have been expunged, you just haven't cleared the system yet, or what is the?
I think it hasn't cleared because I know my partner represented him doing an expungement matter, started out with me for someone else.
Okay. And given it that the fact that this conviction occurred in the 20th century, almost 30 years ago, it's little to no weight. So he has not been had any criminal convictions in the past 29, almost 30 years. All right. And given the fact that these two, Mr. Ali Beydoun and Sam Beydoun, were, for all intents and purposes, as I read the report, the accessories, I am going to give both of them a personal bond, no GPS tether at this time, although that may change if there's any further contact with the complaining witness. So I'm going to give each of them a $50,000, all three a $50,000 personal bond. Ali Beydoun, Sam Beydoun. While this case is pending, gentlemen, you're not to possess any handguns, firearms, other dangerous weapons. No contact with Michael Ryad, which I'm sure you will have no contact. That means no phone calls, text messages, handwritten letters or notes, through social media, through a third party. Is that clear, gentlemen? That goes for all three of you. Is that clear?
With respect to Ali Beydoun, I'm going to respectfully ask the court to permit him to travel outside of the jurisdiction this week.
He can. How long are you going to be in Miami?
I'll be back Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. The flight arrives in Detroit.
You'll be allowed to travel to Miami and back.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Give me one moment. Okay, court dates for all three. Probable cause, September 10th, preliminary examination, September 17th. Both, all three are in front of Judge Sabria. Again, no weapons and no contact. Have a good day, gentlemen.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Sir, I can't mute,
right.
but I'm going to tell them and step out of this little
No,
booth.
you're good. You're good.
Thank you.
You're
Happy
good,
Labor
Ms.
Day.
Baldwin. All right. What's your name, sir? DDC.
My name is Julian Ellen Brown. Julian Ellen Brown, like initials Jazz, spelled backwards Bash, Super Saiyan, and Star Wars Agent and Angel.
Is that it? Good. What's his government name?
Judge, it's Mr. Julian Brown, Your Honor.
Calling case number 240-591-2401. People say Michigan versus Julian Brown. Appearances, please.
Lisa Coyle, appearing on behalf of the people.
And Ryan Murad, PA 3665, on behalf of Mr. Julian Brown. We waive the formal reading. Mr. Brown stands mute. He's been advised of his constitutional rights.
Court of not guilty plea on behalf of Mr. Brown. Bond argument.
Your Honor, his prior record shows a 2016 unarmed robbery. He is currently on probation to Judge Regina Thomas in the Third Circuit Court for an arson preparation to burn real property. He received 3 years probation. He was just sentenced on July 30th of this year. Within a month, he picked up this gun case. He did have a KPS on that case June 21st. There is a mental order in his lien. Officers make a run for person with a weapon. Your Honor, the people believe that he could be a danger to the community and that the people are asking for 10% the tether in this matter. Even though it's non-assaultive, he is on probation. He does have a mental order. He did have a gun, allegedly recovered from his person, and based on all that, Your Honor, the people are asking for that bond.
Mr. Rod?
Your Honor, I'd argue that the worst conduct contained in this investigator's report is unlawful possession of a firearm. It doesn't seem that there was any combative nature between him and the police officers whatsoever. He's 27 years old. He indicates that he's gainfully employed locally at Sam's Club. I'd ask the court for personal bond and no firearms here.
What are his hours at Sam's Club?
Mr. Brown, can you tell the court what hours you work at Sam's Club, sir?
6 o'clock.
How many hours is 6 o'clock?
No, Your Honor, if I may. Mr. Brown, what time do you get there and what time do you leave, sir?
I get there about like at 11 and then I leave about 5:30.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Brown.
Is that 11 a.m. to 5:30 p.m.?
Yes, Your Honor.
Just want to make the record clear. Anything else, Mr. Rod?
Judge, if the court's considering tether, I'd ask the court not to unless there's been any KPS history that the court's aware of.
Mrs. Cole, didn't you mention a KPS history?
I did. On the arson case, there was a failure to appear on June 21st of 24 on that case.
That's what I thought. All right, $10,000 personal bond in this matter. Mr. Brown, while this case is pending, sir, you're not to possess any handguns, firearms, or other dangerous weapons. You'll be fitted with a GPS tether, 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew. Probable cause September 6th, preliminary examination September 13th. Both in front of Judge Jefferson. Have a good day.
Thank you.
All right, you announce this, right?
Can you bring